first, but he started to become more an organiser and all the hand. I didn't realise he was 35, to be completely honest. So there you go. Good luck to him in retirement. That's an impressive career, having international, NRL and Super League. So well done to him. With that.
Yep. So Widnes assistant coach Mick Cassidy will leave the club at the season's end to take up the role of head of youth performance at Wigan. Cassidy will leave the Vikings at the end of the campaign after a decade of service to the club. The 45-year-old played for Widnes between 2005 and 2007 and joined the club as assistant coach in 2009. Cassidy will replace Matty Peat at Wigan, who will move to rugby union side Sale Sharks at the end of the Super League season. Peat has been at the Warriors since 2006 and has overseen the development of junior players at the club. He has headed up their reserves, under-19s, under-18s teams. So he's had a good run, hasn't he, Pete? He's brought some good players through.
And as a bloke who never played the game to any sort of level, it's really impressive that he's forged his coaching career and been demanded by people elsewhere. And there's a little bit of concern that he might start taking some of the talent he's spotted with him to the other code. But there's a lot of players at Wigan who haven't known it any other way than having Sean Wayne and Matty Peat. I mean, everyone who's come through in this Wigan team, and we talk so much about excuse me so much about the development of young players at Wigan. They've all come through under Sean Wayne and or Matty Peat. It's a big change of the guard. At least we're bringing someone in who knows the culture of the club, understands the culture of the club, and obviously he hasn't been quite so directly involved with the youth guys at Widnes. He doesn't run that part of Widnes, but it's obvious that Widnes are a team that have shown a good pathway for young players into the first team by whatever reason. But still, it's what's happened there. So I'm quite happy about it. I used to really like Mick Cassidy. Mick Cassidy used to listen to the podcast in the early days. I'm not sure if he still keeps up with us now, but he definitely used to listen to the podcast in the early days because he'd interact with us occasionally. So I'm really pleased with that. I think he's a top bloke. So I quite like it, and he's got good experience. He's experienced ups and downs as well at Widnes in his time, because he's been there throughout the Dennis Betts journey as well, so the step up into Super League. So I'm disappointed that we're losing so many senior figures. I mean, Mark Bitkin's going to be the next to go. Apparently he's going to Manchester City to join his brother on the coaching staff there, on the conditioning staff there. So that's not great either. Lots of change, but good luck to Matty Peat, and I'm glad that we've got someone who I think's got the right credentials, the right sort of DNA.
The one thing that I don't think will ever change is that Wigan have got an amazing sort of community club sort of set up around there. So that conveyor belt of talent is always going to come from St Pat's and St Jude's and all the schools in that area that they're just producing sort of rugby players. Hopefully for you guys.
There's going to be stuff. There's stuff for him to work with, isn't there? He'll have like the overarching role, I think, on all the parts of that, from the scholarship academy, even through to the reserves, because the reserves really is supposed to be kind of like a bridging gap with players coming back from injury, but also mostly seeing who's going to be ready to play more regularly against the adult blokes. So that comes under the remit of that role from how it's been run for the last couple of years. So it will be interesting, but it gives Cassidy a chance as well to be part of a structure where there has been clear progression up the ranks if he did want to take on a head coaching role or something. But it also gives him a chance to be doing a proper big role. It's a big role. You're overseeing quite a lot of stuff at a club that really does develop young players, so it's going to be a challenging role for him, and I'm sure he'll do very well in it. Toronto have signed winger. This is kind of just confirming something we knew but hadn't really had it formally confirmed, but Toronto have signed Wakefield winger Mason Caton-Brown on a deal until the end of the season. The 25-year-old has scored a total of 52 tries in 74 Super League games, having previously played for London Broncos and Salford Red Devils and Wakefield. But Caton-Brown found chances hard to come by at Trinity this season, just playing in just 4 Super League games.
I mean, he's I think he's a great player. He's a jet-heeled sort of.
He's rapid.
Good. He was one of the best players at Salford, and when he got his chance last season, it was last season when Tom Johnson was out. He got a decent run in the team, and he's scoring tries for fun, wasn't he?
It was almost like Johnston wasn't out. They were going at a try a game still, weren't they?
He's a very very dangerous player, and in the middle eights, I think he'll clean up. Who's on that wing currently?
Well, Toronto have loaned out half the wingers,
right?
So they loaned out Pownell and Burrows, and so then they needed to. Then they got injuries, so Liam Kay will be on the left wing. Yeah, I'm guessing he's not injured, but Nick Rawlsthorne picked up an injury, and who's the other? Adam Higson got injured.
They signed Matty Russell. I don't know whether he's had his. I've not really.
Well, I think they lost Greg Worthington as well in the centres, and Caton Brown when he was coming through originally at London. I think the hope that it was going to be a centre. He never quite developed at the right rate physically. His defence never really aimed up as a centre, so he ended up finding his opportunity out on the wing, particularly at Wakefield, like we said last year, and he did really well with it. But yeah, you're right, it does seem like, did they really need it? And also it caused uproar, didn't it, because it was announced after...
Yeah, what's the deal with that? Is the transfer deadline day that they're sort of trying to make a thing out of this year, and then it kind of gets after.
I think it was done deal before, and they just forgot to announce it. I'm not sure if he had to be released by Wakefield for it to happen. Right. To be honest, that's kind of what. Because the next story we're going to talk about was a player who was a free agent. So I think you can sign free agents still at any point.
Right. Okay.
Which is why it's weird that loads of sort of amateur players were announced as being signed by Whitehaven and Workington and stuff like that when they probably didn't need to then if you can sign, unless they were signing on dual reg terms with their community sides, still holding the registration, which is a possibility. It's a weird. It seems weird to me that you can dual reg a player between League One and National Conference 3 or something. But that's what can happen.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but
it caused a lot of uproar, and fans of other sides in the Championship, in the qualifiers, were kind of kicking off saying, "How's this fair? Is this like bending the rules to make things happen for Toronto and stuff?" And then something else got announced.
So Salford Red Devils have signed outside back Jansen Turgott. So Scoots called that, didn't she, a couple of weeks ago, on a short-term deal from Hull FC as they battle to retain their Super League status. 22-year-old Turgott has played 20 times for Hull and is a former England Academy captain. So obviously Scoots mentioned that he didn't think that Lee Radford fancied Turgott, and then
Lee Radford came out with a statement saying just how great he was, and then Hull released him on cue. Have you seen anything of Turgott? He's played 20 times for Hull, like you said.
I've never seen him play, never, so I don't. I don't know. And obviously he's been a good player at youth level.
He's I think he's got potential, so I think Salford have signed a good one there. They needed to sign more players for the qualifier. I think we knew this was going to happen. This one was in the works, but if he was a free agent, they were allowed to sign him. But what it did do is shut Salford fans up about going to Toronto and being announced after the deadline. Moving into we're going all the way down to League One now. Workington vice-captain Jamie Doran has penned a new 3-year contract at the club. Doran, who started his career at Wigan Warriors in Super League and made 2 appearances before joining Workington on loan in 2015, then he later made that move permanent. The Cumbrian has been a standout performer for Town since he arrived at Derwent Park, scoring 26 tries in 86 games for the club so far. So nice bit of business there. It's not often you see League One clubs handing out long-term contracts like this one, so obviously they want to keep him around. Yeah,
that's brilliant. And then Ireland international halfback Liam Finn will join Newcastle Thunder as a player for 2019 and take up a coaching position at current club Wakefield. The 34-year-old, who has played more than 400 first-grade games and featured at 3 World Cups, will extend his playing career at Kingston Park. Finn is currently on loan to Widnes, his 6th club in a career which took in Featherstone and Castleford stints. Yeah. I mean, I thought his move to Widnes was going to mean he was going to be a coach there. That's how I'd understood it. But
no, when they announced the loan move to Widnes, so you need to pay more attention when you listen to the SLP shows on Transfer Deadline Weekly. When he moved on loan to Widnes, Wakefield simultaneously announced that he was going to be joining the Wakefield club's coaching staff from next season. And at the time, me and Dan, when we did the short about it, kind of speculated a little bit whether that was the end of him as a player or not, because we both had the sort of inkling that he wanted to continue. And it turns out that he did. So
actually, I do remember you saying that he was somewhere further down the ladder that he'd end up turning out for. Did you have an insider knowledge? Or?
I didn't have any firm insider knowledge. I've just read plenty of bits and heard a few people on the grapevine sort of suggesting that there was a move coming, but the popular move that was being put about the websites and that was Bradford.
Right, okay.
Obviously with the link to John Keir, who'd been at Wakefield with him last year, and last year was probably Finn's best year of consistently playing at Super League level. He had a good year at Castleford a couple of years earlier, but then...
It was good earlier on this season. At the start of this season, he started pretty decent. When he came to Wire, I thought him and Miller were really good. Yeah, but has he got one leg longer than the other? Is it sort of has a sort of a funny sort of run about him that makes it look like he's injured all the time? He's like picks a knock up. And you think, all right, he's picked a knock up, but then I've noticed that he just runs like that all the time. So I don't know whether
it's because he's quite old.
Well, he's not. He's considerably younger than I am. I don't run like that. But yeah, no, there's just.
I don't know. That's a good question. If anyone who watches him more regularly can chip in with a view on that, I'm certainly going to be paying attention on Thursday night when he plays against London in the qualifiers to see what's going on. Okay. This is the kind of shitter story of the week. Long-serving Australian Rugby League referee Matt Chechin says he is quitting at the end of the season after receiving vile abuse and hundreds of death threats. The 44-year-old took charge of his 300th NRL game on Sunday when Penrith played against Canberra, but Chechin is unlikely to officiate at many more games, though he is not ruled out moving to the Super League. So maybe we might benefit from him, like we did in the Hull against Wigan game earlier this season. That was one of the matches he's done. So he has actually already refereed in Super League as well as in the NRL, which is something for him. But
he's not ruled it out. Is that just because nobody's asked him, or is there a precedent for that? Do NRL referees come over here?
And it's not like it's not like when your next sort of players come over here to retire. Like I don't know why not or something.
but they've got a surplus of referees over there almost. They've got two on every pitch.
I mean, they need two. Well, for the rules they play.
Nobody needs two referees. But I don't know why they wouldn't want to do that. That'd be a good way to attract qualified referees to our league when we're struggling. But if he expects to receive less abuse over here than over there, that is the point. I think that's a concern. I don't know. I've never heard referees getting death threats in this club, but that was obviously over the. Well, I don't know whether it's all over the Tonga game, but that was the big one. And he made the right call in that game. So it's like he got death threats based on making the correct call.
Yeah, but now obviously that was a game that carried a lot of passion and stuff like that. But that's what it stems from. You're right to call that out. That's where this all started. But there was also quite a bit around his non-selection in the state of origin, which kind of caused a little bit of a storm. And there's rumours, if you read into stuff a lot, that some of the senior figures in the NRL weren't necessarily comfortable with Matt Chechin, which is fucking ludicrous if you ask me.
Yeah.
But and I hope it is just rumours and not genuine. But I think he's a good referee. He's never been one who. I've never been watching his performance thinking he's having a joke of a game.
No.
He's not one that I think has been like ever really disrespectful with the players and that sort of stuff. He's always seemed to get the balance right about between being a disciplinarian and showing sort of a level of respect with the players. So I'd welcome him. Welcome him.